In 2006, Blake Mikowski took time off from work and traveled to Argentina. After immersing himself in the culture of this country, at the end of his trip, he met an American woman who was dedicated to get shoes for children of limited resources. The lack of footwear not only complicated tasks such as going to school or getting water from the local well, it exposed the children to a wide range of diseases. Blake was shocked by this, and after traveling through many villages with the woman and his group, he witnessed the high level of poverty and deprivation that exists in the communities around Buenos Aires. This convinced Blake that he must do something about it. So, after thinking about options to help children, he will have one of the best ideas of his life: a shoe company that for every pair that sells will give a pair of shoes to a child who needs them. These shoes will be a different design to the Argentine espadrilles, more attractive for the US market but made by Argentine artisans. So, Blake returned to the United States with his espadrilles and presented the idea in a meeting to his close friends. The response was so positive that each of them came out with a couple of thumbs on their feet. His friends mentioned stores where he could sell his new product. Motivated by the positive response, Blake decided to try to sell to these stores, and as expected, it did not take long for one of them to accept. In a short time, the shoes reached the pages of the magazine Los Angeles, since they were not only nice and comfortable shoes, they were a story. Suddenly, Blake received more orders than he could deliver, since his inventory was limited, so he decided to return to Argentina to increase his production. In a matter of time, the thumbs were on everyone's feet. Even Hollywood stars like Scarlett Johansson were seen strolling with them. In just one summer, they managed to sell more than 10,000 pairs.
Toms gives shoes to children in need for each pair that sells. The brand was born in Los Angeles in 2006, after its founder Blake Mikowski made a trip to South America.
And be aware of the great economic inequalities that exist and that affect above all the smallest. Above all, the image of barefoot children was engraved in the streets, and her mind went to work of the shoes for Tomorrow project. In these 12 years of life, Tom's has helped taught its shoes delivery model more than 75 million children in 55 countries, according to Tom's, although its action go further.
Toms works with more than 90 local NGOs and humanitarian organizations, so these shoes and all they can arrive in the best possible way. For Toms, the fact of having footwear is a way to complement the help given by the organizations with medicines and food, since it helps them to prevent illness and at the same time comfort them psychologically as they feel they have something new and exclusive for them. Tom works with more than 100 giving partners to deliver Tom's shoes, site and water services, shoe giving, over 60 countries and over 35 million pairs given, site giving, 30 countries and 250,000 people with resort inside, water giving in 2014 to help provide water in 5 countries.
The ethical side of this company is that they do not actually sell their shoes with a lucrative point of view, but they want to make a social impact by giving one exact same pair of shoes to children with limited resources for every purchase we make to get a pair of shoes for ourselves. The price is elevated for the reason that their work ethic is great. Their employees work under good conditions and they give out a quality product. The alpargatas are around $40 to $70 for this reason. Some people might be confused and criticize this enterprise because they sometimes get compared to NGOs. But the goal of this organization is not to make a complete social impact on people's lives. It is to help them to start making a change in their lives, starting by giving them a good quality brand new pair of shoes. But let's think about this for a moment. Of course, this company does great things that we would wish other companies to do. which is to have a vision to help others who have economic difficulties with what they produce. Also, something else this company doesn't do is to spend money on advertising, as they prefer to focus their efforts on trying to make sure everyone has a new pair of shoes. On the other hand, they also have a deal with the enterprise element, which allowed them to also have this one-for-one ideology started by Toms on skateboards. For example, whenever you purchase one Tom's Element skateboard, one skateboard will be donated to children in South Africa. This is not only to create sports culture in this country, but to also give people a way of transport.